How's everyone today? Good, good. The Detroit City Council Military Veterans Air Force Task Force agenda will now come to order. Our first business will be the opening and the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council President, I'd like to have a moment of silence. We lost 2 men yesterday, in Afghanistan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Pam, do we have the names of those members? Do we have the names of those members, Governor? Do we have the names of them?
The men?
Men?
No, I don't.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that. All right, well, we'll go on. Is there anyone that is here that is for the special guest speaker today? First of all, let me explain. Council President had to go out of town today. Last week. She will be returning on Thursday, and Linda Wesley had a family emergency which caused her to go out of town. So, and Member Benson just had a newborn this past Sunday. So those two were all tied up, so our office kind of put some things together. Now, Mr. Stephen Grady will be here later on if there's anything that's coming out of the office. But we had to kind of put this together because of the emergencies that others had. So I apologize that we do not have a full schedule with names and everything to them. So I apologize for that. But we definitely wanted to make sure that the Veterans Task Force meeting was held today. So I thank everyone for coming out here today. Is there anyone with any specific speaking, upcoming engagements, or things of that nature? Okay, got a gentleman here, and he's getting himself ready and getting himself together, so we'll just do a little bit of improvising and allow him to set up. Yes. Does everybody have an agenda? And does everyone have some of the documentation regarding Council President Jones? I see there's also some other additional information regarding Council President Jones and Member Ayers. And first of all, I'd like to thank the members here at Mount Ford Point Marines. Is there anything that they want to say to kind of welcome us in? Is there anyone to represent the Mount Ford Point Marines that is here that can say some things while we wait for our guest speaker to get himself ready? Come on up, sir. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marine Kevin Rogers. I'm the adjutant for the Mumford Point 158 Detachment. I just want to welcome everyone. I hope everything is okay, everybody's comfortable, and we're glad that you came out. And let's go ahead and just get this meeting started.
All right, Captain Rogers, thank you so very much. Appreciate it, and thank you for allowing us to host this here
Not a problem.
this month. Thank you so much, and I understand we're going to be here next month also as well.
As well.
Yes, sir. All right, then. All right, then, Mr. Presenter, if you are ready, if you can just give us your name and the information, and we'll let you turn the floor over to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
So, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Kwesi Betsarai. I'm the Wayne County, I'm here for Wayne County Veterans Services. I'm the director there. And I just came to tell folks about Wayne County Veterans Services. How many of you know that Wayne County has a Veterans Services division? I think I've seen you maybe at a previous meeting. A couple folks know. So let me tell you a little bit about it. First, we're located at, and I put some flyers, some brochures, some really good stuff back there on the table. We are located at 400 Monroe Street in Greektown, Suite 405. Everybody knows where Fishbones is? Well, we're right above Fishbones. So if you get hungry, you can come upstairs and get looked at by the Veterans Services. So what we're primarily set up to do is provide immediate financial relief to Wayne County veterans, right? You must be a Wayne County resident, must be honorably discharged, served during a wartime period. You say, well, what does that mean? That means you have to have served during well, it goes back to Spanish War, World War I, II, Korean War, Vietnam, Desert Storm, and anything else in the Gulf region. So that'd be OIF, OEF, or if you've served during an expeditionary exercise. So we provide financial relief. That financial relief comes in the form of rent assistance, mortgage payments, and rent payments, car note payments, car repairs, furniture, right? Security deposits on apartments. Say if you're transitioning from one place to another, Wayne County Veterans Services will provide that security deposit and potentially 4 to 6 months rent to allow veterans who have a demonstrated need for financial assistance. If you have a kid and they need uniforms for school, we can help you with that. If you have a job that requires uniforms, we provide monies for those uniforms. If you have some challenges with some construction at your property, say for example, you've got a boiler issue, you've got a roof issue, you get 3 contractor bids, we will go help facilitate getting those repairs done on that property. Speaking of property, if you have delinquent taxes, we'll go back to the last 3 years. For example, January, we had a lot of people flood our office, and we paid their delinquent taxes from 2017 up to now to get them current. So our whole goal is to make sure we help veterans as much as we can with some financial relief, right? And so I'll tell you, your taxpayer dollars for Wayne County helps fund our department. And so again, we focus on making sure we get to a yes for veterans. I'll give you an example. I had a veteran come in last week, and she needed some assistance with a car. But she also had a need for some rent assistance because she was behind. And so we made sure she was aware that she was eligible for that as well. So we paid up her rent for the next 6 months, and we paid her car note for the next 6 months, because we felt like if we just go back and do 2 months and catch it up, that's not going to help that veteran. We want to give them enough breathing space so they can get their monies together and they can focus on getting to work and having their housing and their car squared away. So we really focus on taking care of veterans down in Wayne County Veterans Services. So that's one thing about my department. I'll throw everything out there that I have right now. I speak on behalf of Warren Evans. I highly recommend and ask everyone here, when the census takes off, I would ask everybody to go ahead and get counted. Please get counted. Because if you don't, we lose roughly $1,600 per person that's not counted. And so what does that mean? Over a 10-year period, Wayne County loses $16,000 that can go to our roads, to our schools, to our departments, all in Wayne County. So I ask everybody, if you know somebody who potentially may not be counted, I ask that you reach out and make sure that they get counted this time around, right? I have that out there, the census. I have some information about the Mill Run Park, and also ask everybody here, register to vote and vote in the upcoming election, right? Yes, sir.
Where does the money come from? Does it come from the Wayne County tax?
It does. There's a millage assessed for every property owner in Wayne County.
No money comes in from the federal government on this matter?
Not on this. For what my office focuses on, is all based on Wayne County tax dollars. Now, we do administer a small portion of that for the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund. And so what we do, if we cannot give money, if it doesn't fit the criteria for us, as far as being a wartime veteran, the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund provides an opportunity for some veterans to come in there and hold a meeting and vet whether or not they can pay out of that bucket of money.
Is there anybody lobbying on account of Wayne County to the federal government? Because we're almost last.
Come to the mic, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anybody monitoring or lobbying in Washington for Wayne County? Because we're almost last when it comes to federal dollars coming into Wayne County.
Could I also ask, when you come to the mic, please give your name, because we want you to be recognized, and since the media is recording this, we want you to be recognized and put in. So when you come to the mic, could you please give your name also?
I apologize. My name is Paul Pellizo. I'm president of Vietnam Vets of America, Chapter 9, also the Parade Committee and the Monument Committee at the State Fairgrounds, so I do a lot in the city. And I'm trying to stay active on this, but it seems like we're not getting enough money back from the federal government to help Wayne County, to help our veterans in the city of Detroit or in Wayne County. And I was just wondering, is there somebody lobbying on our behalf to get funds? And I'm not trying to throw anything out there, but Mr. McCalister has a sheet that I just gave there that we're 100th out of all the major cities in the United States for federal assistance. So maybe we should be more proactive on the federal level to get more money into this city. I worked for Coleman Young, and I know he had a bunch of people going to Washington every day screaming and yelling to get money into our city. So maybe it's something that Wayne County could look into on behalf of veterans and its citizens. Thank you.
Well, no, I appreciate you bringing that up. Now, I can't tell you that I know of anyone in particular. Nobody's brought me in on that conversation about lobbying efforts at the federal government. I'll tell you right now, I have money that I need to spend right now, that I have available for Wayne County veterans. So my primary goal is to focus on getting that money out to the veterans right now before I try to bring in something else. So for my bucket, now there's a lot of areas that veterans could probably use some assistance, but that's not my lane, but I do think that's worthy. I'm a 28-year Army veteran.
Okay.
Right? So I can fully appreciate making sure my brother and sister veterans get additional funds for whatever they may choose.
My point is, we got Gary Peters there, we got Debbie Stabenauer and Ms. Dingle. Ms. Dingle's going to be at the VA hospital. Our chapter's going to the VA hospital to give things away. We go there every year, twice a year. She'll be there Friday at 10 o'clock. I think we have to be more proactive on this matter. Being 100 on a list of major cities is just uncalled for. And we need more help in this city than all these other cities. When I look at the list, Tampa, Florida, which is a quite wealthy area, Orlando, Florida, Colorado Springs, Jacksonville, Florida, these areas are, they don't need an assistance as much as we do. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much. I'll take a look at that. Do I have any other questions?
Just a statement, sir. I'm Victor Mark.
If you would come up to the microphone, please.
I don't know if this is true or not now. My name is Victor Elmar Sr., Vice President of the 13th District, and a lot of other things, too. During the administration of Mayor Coleman Young, Patman Boggs represented the city of Detroit and the county of Wayne. It's Ron Brown's old firm. Not sure who's doing that now. I believe at one time Rodney Slater was representing Wayne State University as part of a city of Detroit deal. But that should be easy to check, either the mayor's office or the county exec's office.
Well, what was it? So I'm not sure if I understood your
The
point.
lobbyist point that he
Okay,
brought up
okay,
on
good.
behalf of the citizens of Detroit. Somebody's got the lobbying contract for the city of Detroit.
Gotcha.
If I may, Mr. President. Mr. Morrison, one of the things, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I apologize. Brother Marsh, one of the things, and for the whole group, one of the things that Council President is doing is she is saying we do not have a federal lobbyist in Washington. And that's one of the things that she is working on, which goes back to the issues that we're having. If we don't have anybody in Washington fighting for us, they're not going to listen. That's probably why we're number 100.
As for mayor, what happened to Slater's contract? He was the last lobbyist of record.
I sure will. I definitely will. Thank you.
Question to the mayor.
Yes, sir. I definitely will.
And folks, I have one more thing on behalf of Wayne County. So I don't know if a lot of people know, but Wayne County has 2 federally qualified health centers that can provide immunizations to all Wayne County residents. You don't have to be a veteran. And it's low-cost assistance. You can get some social work and counseling done. And they only ask, if you don't have insurance, for $5. For $5. And I put this brochures up on that desk on the side. But I'm running across a lot of folks who need some medical assistance, and they say they don't have any money, and that's okay. All we ask is for $5, and if you don't have that $5, Wayne County is not going to quibble about. They're going to make sure that you get immunized, going to make sure you get looked at by a professional. So we have 2 offices located. The first one is in Hamtramck, at 9021 Joseph Campo, in Hamtramck. And then there's the Wayne Health Center at 33030 Van Born Road in Wayne, Michigan. And as I said, I put these flyers out there because I'm finding a lot of people don't know about the programs that are already in place in Wayne County to serve all the residents. And again, Wayne County has 43 cities, 43 communities in it. And so we focus on making sure we take care of everybody that we can, all right? So I'll sit down, but if anybody has any questions for me, I'll be here just for that purpose.
Any other questions, concerns? All right then. Mr. Vettis, thank you so very much for that presentation. Really appreciate that. It helps out because as we move on, we will definitely make sure that your flyers and brochures are out to veterans that we come across. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. All right then, so moving on, roundtable and special committee meetings. Is there anything? Would you like to present? Okay, ma'am.
I'll get out of the way. Again, Paul Palazzolo, President of Chapter 9. We've got our annual parade coming up, November 8th. It's getting bigger and bigger. We've gone down Michigan Avenue. This year it's the women in the military. We're getting a lot of women coming out of the military this year, and so we're going to honor them. Rosa the Riveter and all the people that were in the military at one time. We hope to have the governor this year for the first time, and we hope to get the mayor down there. And Grand Marshal is our president, Ms. Brenda Jones, council president. So, we're moving forward on that. The second thing we're moving forward on is the state monument at the state fairgrounds that was taken apart. There's $400,000 that we're looking for that was missing. It didn't need to be taken apart. They took it apart, put it at the Ryan Armory, and it's sitting there. All these plaques are just sitting on the ground. That was supposed to be moved to the riverfront, where we were supposed to relight the flame at the riverfront. It didn't take $400,000 to dismantle this thing, maybe $100,000 at the most. So we're looking for that money at the Lansing level. Where's that money? Magic Johnson supposedly is supposed to be doing part of the state fairgrounds. Well, this is off the state fairgrounds land. It's at the corner of Nevada and Woodward. It did not need to be dismantled. We're also working on the Fisher House. I was hoping to have some people here from the land bank, but they didn't show up. So we'll push that on a level when Ms. Dingle was at the hospital Friday. There were 5 lots that were issued to us. 3 of those lots, they had contaminated land, so there was a cleaners, and they bulldozed the cleaners into the ground. So that land we can't use. That's at Palmer and John R. So we're looking for other land in the Detroit area that meets the requirements of the VA hospital. They have to be within a mile of the VA hospital, so transportation. For those who don't know what the Fisher House is, it's like a Ronald McDonald House. You stay there for free. The first one has already been built in Ann Arbor, and I'm a little upset about that because we've been raising money here in Detroit. That went out to Ann Arbor, and I put a stop to that, stipulating that checks should be in Detroit coffers. Well, they've got theirs built. We're still looking to build ours. They've put some of that money aside. I'm not knocking them, but they put money aside to maintain and run their Fisher House. Well, the way we were talked to about it was that once that was built, that money would come back to Detroit to build our Fisher House. So there's 3 items that we're working on. Also the scholarships that we're giving away to Randolph Academy and Pamela Moore to the city of Detroit. Over $250,000 have been given for veterans to apply for scholarships in the city of Detroit. That's all veterans, Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force. So these are things that our chapter are working on and trying to fulfill. Seems like we're getting a lot of roadblocks, but we've got a good core of people that are pushing ahead for the Fisher House and the State Monument. So November 8th is the parade. I hope to see us all down there. We're going down Michigan Avenue. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for that. I was hoping that Mr. Brown would come in. Me and him have not spoken lately regarding the Fisher House because it's really going also mainly through him, and we're trying to make that connection. So I was hoping maybe he'll come in before we leave today, but there's still some question marks as far as where that is and where that's going. So thank you for that. Commander?
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Commander Jim Semerad, representing the Navy League and the Reserve Officers Association. And I would like to thank the Montfort Point Marines for having us here today. This is quite an honor to be in their facility. And I'd also like to do a shout out for our new Brigadier General of the Tuskegee Airmen. And, we're very proud to recognize that and the Tuskegee Airmen's very important role here in the city of Detroit. I have a couple things that I think are appropriate for this forum, and especially that it's being recorded. Many people know me as, promoting the Broadhead Armory and some of the future of that facility, and I'm really excited about it moving forward, but that's not really why I'm here to talk to you today. I wear another hat called State President of the Reserve Organization of America, and we have a conference every year, and this year it's on April 4th at the American Legion. It's 696 in Newburgh Road. It's on cyber. Okay, so we bring people in from the Armed Forces Academies, Air Force and Navy, and we're really excited about it because cyber is the future. Okay, cyber, drones, space engineers. So we're having a very cool conference, a very neat conference about cyber and what that means for both national security and international security. So I hope you'll attend. I'll see if I can get this into the handouts that come up that are distributed to all of us. But on this same note, I had a chance to tour the Starbase out at Selfridge, and one of the things about it is it promotes space engineering, cyber engineering, drone engineering, and we're going to try to create a satellite of that in the Detroit area. So Friday I've got a meeting with one of Dr. Vidi's leaders on STEM and STEAM, and we're going to see if we can integrate this kind of training into the Detroit public schools. So it's pretty cool because these are the careers that we need for our future workforce. Along that same line, being a naval commander and supply an accountable officer, we got $800 billion of defense spending in the current budget, and this money is available for the asking. So all those businesses out here in Detroit have to just go online and figure out how to request it. So we have an actual organization, PTAC, DLA and PTAC, and this training is free, okay? So it's free for everybody in this room and anybody out there listening. You can take these classes for free and learn how to go onto the DLA systems, the DIBS systems, the PTAC systems, and request these billions of dollars in money, okay? Now, granted, you're going to have to get skilled up and trained, but the training is free, okay? You can go to facilities right around here and get this training for free and learn how to apply for these government dollars. So along the lines of Paul, why aren't we out there asking for the money? And that's part of the problem. We're not asking for the money. So, and I was over at this office the other day. So I wanted to, tomorrow I've got to do, and this is appropriate for all the different veterans groups here. Tomorrow I'm going to do a presentation at the Coast Guard station up in Port Huron, and I'm going to talk about what's life like for you after you spend 10, 20, 30 years in the Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force, and Army. And I went through that transition a few years ago, and it was quite painful. So I get it. But I've been in touch with DMVA, Department of Military and Veterans Affairs up in Lansing. They have a brand new, well, it's a couple years old, Veterans Resource Center. And it's absolutely incredible. You can call this, the number up there, and they will put you in touch. And if you're out of sorts, they will figure out how to get you back on your feet. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm going to invite them to come and present here sometime in the future. But I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm going to talk about USA Jobs. Because if your resume is not up to speed on USA Jobs, then you're not going to make yourself available to all these great opportunities that are out there right now. But your resume's got to be up to par, and they've integrated all federal and military DoD jobs all under USA Jobs today. So and now they're combining all the different veterans websites into one Veterans Resource Center. So there's a lot of changes going on right now to help veterans out. So I want to thank the council president and you, Councilman Roy McCalister, for hosting these sessions, because this is the only way that we're able to communicate and share our little pieces of nuggets of gold knowledge amongst all the different veterans groups. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Commander, I just had a couple questions for you regarding this. For the clarification on this job training, you're saying, okay, do you train for the position, then you're requesting the dollars, or are you saying get the requested dollars so you can train? That's what I just need some clarification on.
It's the first.
Okay.
You can request the dollars. Okay?
Right.
But in order to request the dollars, many people don't know how to request the dollars.
Yes, sir.
So you probably want to take the training as to how to request the dollars.
Okay.
Now, the user ID and password is free.
Yes, sir.
And then you're looking at a big list of millions and billions of dollars of contracts that you, all of us in this room, can then apply for.
Okay.
Can I elaborate on that?
Please do, sir, please. And Commander, I just have one more statement. Go right ahead. Come on up, sir.
Basically, we had 1,600 ROT students in our parade. They're being trained for the same type of work in cyberspace. Those contracts are being given to Israel. I talked to Mike Rogers, who was the head of the Central Intelligence Agency 2 years ago. This is where what I'm talking about, getting someone on the federal level lobbying why our kids can't have those jobs. 1,600 kids are already being trained. They don't get the contract. It goes to Israel. And then we have to buy that technology back from them to protect cyberspace.
Yes, sir.
It's ridiculous. These kids could get these jobs, could walk right off into good paying jobs, $60,000 to $50,000 a year jobs. And they're waiting and waiting and waiting.
Okay. And just to both of you, I think a lot of it is just people just don't know. I think that's the biggest issue. People just don't know about these programs that's out there or where to go. So I appreciate you bringing that information, both bringing that information to us. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Okay. All right. Is there any other questions, discussions regarding any of the information that we've addressed so far? All right. Seeing that there isn't any, then I'm going to continue on. Is there any programs or additional that someone want to put out? Because we're doing great on time. We're doing great on time. Ms. Wilburn, how you doing, sir? Come on up. Wilburn, I know you. We know you, but we want to get you recorded. So if you can please give your name, sir. Look like you ready to do some flying too.
Just got back. My name is Bill Wellborn, and this coming Thursday from 2 to 6, we're going to honor Alexander Jefferson and Harry Stewart at City Airport. It's in the Civil Air Patrol building. They're going to be there, and they're going to talk about the flying that they did. Jeff is the last living POW for Tuskegee Airmen. Harry Stewart is the first Top Gun for the Tuskegee Airmen. In fact, for the whole military. They won it all back in 1949. So they're going to be there and talk. And we're lucky here. We got 2 of the original flyers right here in Detroit. And we have the oldest Tuskegee Airmen here. So we got a pretty lucky chapter, they have that. But it's this coming Thursday, from 2 to 6 p.m. at City Airport. That's on Connor and Gratiot. That's where it's at.
Mr. Wilborn, since we have you at the mic, is the programs to help teach young people to fly, that flying program, will that be happening again this year? And if so, could you give some information on that, sir?
Yeah, every year, starting in April to October, we give kids free rides in the aircraft. And while they're out there, if they're interested in flying, they can talk to Dr. Brian Smith and get all the information. He's our chief pilot out there, and he controls everything with flying. But we do have a flying program. We just sent a kid last month. Last month. We pay half his tuition to go to flying school. But I'd like to let everybody know it's not easy. A lot of kids think it's easy, but it's extra hard. To give you an example, the first class the Tuskegee ever had, 13 went to the first class, only 5 graduated. So that's how hard it is. And these guys are all college graduates. So it's not easy at all. But April, this year, it'll be on the third Sunday because Easter falls on the second Sunday. And it's from kids from 8 to 17, and we get there about 9:30, and we start taking them in. We take first come, first serve. They get a 45-minute ride around the circumference of Detroit. And then if they're interested in flying, like I say, they can see me, Dr. Smith, or one of our pilots out there.
Okay, now, Mr. Wilborn, you said it's the third Sunday in April, but that's not the only time. That's when it's starting, the third Sunday?
It's usually the second Sunday
Yes, sir.
of the month.
Yes, sir.
But Easter falls on the second Sunday this year.
Yes, sir.
And so we've got to switch it to the third Sunday.
Okay, but the program goes until
October.
October.
Right.
Right,
And
okay,
it's free.
right.
It don't cost anything. That's the best thing.
So although it falls on the third Sunday in April, in May, will it go back to the second Sunday through October?
Now, May is on the third Sunday, too.
Okay.
Mother's Day falls on the second Sunday all the time.
Priorities.
That's just the way it came this year.
Yes, sir.
But it's always the second Sunday,
Yes, sir. Okay,
except for Mother's Day every year, except for May when it falls on the third Sunday.
third Sunday. Okay, I just want to get clear. I don't want folks coming out there on the second Sunday, and then they find out it's the third Sunday or vice versa.
And don't come out there if it's foggy or rainy, because you won't see me
I'll
out.
see. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, sir. Did you have a statement? Come on up, sir. Please give your name for the record there. How you doing today?
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Eugene Owens. I'm the commandant of Montford Point, and I want to welcome everybody here. Glad everybody came out. And I also want to introduce our 3 World War II veterans, 3 actual Montford Pointers here that are still with us. So we have Robert Hassler over here, Calvin Moore, and Calvin Shepard.
All right.
And Calvin Moore was one of the ones that started this detachment in 1956.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
No, thank you, Commandant. Thank you for allowing us to host this here today. Any other announcements? Anything that's very viable to this group? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Rushing. I'm the Veterans Liaison at the Detroit School for Digital Technology.
Ah.
And we are partnering with the VA on a pilot program called Vet Tech. That's veterans education through technology education courses. We're one of only 10 schools in the country that's currently offering that program. And the problem is that there are a lot of, there's high demand for information technology workers, and there just aren't enough university students that are filling those jobs right now. And there's also a pool of veterans who are looking for work, and so it was an easy fix to create a program to bring veterans directly into the IT jobs through training programs like the one we offer at the Detroit School for Digital Technology. The only prerequisite is that the veteran has 1 day of eligibility for the GI Bill, and if they do that, if they do have that, then they qualify for the program. The VA will send them a certificate of eligibility, which they bring to us. And this program does not deplete the veteran's GI Bill at all. So they can use this program, and then if they want to continue using the GI Bill for whatever else, that's still up to them. But they will get their IT certifications in A+, Net Plus, Networking Plus, and Cybersecurity. And so they'll be able to, we also have a workforce development professional sit them down, go over some soft skills, interview questions, and brush up their resume, and then we can place them in front of one of our employers for an interview and get them started in entry-level IT positions. So it's really, there's high demand for these workers right now, so it's a great opportunity for veterans, especially here in the city. So we just wanted to make sure that veterans who are looking for work or who are looking to move up inside the companies that they're working for take advantage of this program if they can. And we also have financial aid. We're fully accredited. So if the veteran doesn't have GI Bill eligibility, we can look into financial aid, Pell Grant, and if that still doesn't work out, we also have partnered with Michigan Works. It's the Workplace Innovation Opportunities Act. The same idea of placing people, getting people into these IT jobs. So Michigan Works will fund students to come to our school and take some of these IT courses. So there's a lot of options. We're expanding right now. We just opened up a whole bunch of new classrooms. We are in Southwest Detroit, right around the corner from Corktown by the footbridge to Mexican Town, in the former DPD 3rd Precinct building. So if anyone knows any veterans who are interested in IT work, want to move up, these kind of certifications are also great for moving up inside the company that you're working for. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, 312-362-4200.
Say that kind of fast there, Mr.
312-362-4200. That's the main line at the school, and we'll definitely schedule a time for anyone to come in, take a tour of the facility, and see if it's something that they're interested in.
You did say 312, is that correct?
Oh, excuse me, 313.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like,
Okay, out of Chicago.
I'm from Chicago, yeah. 313-263-4200.
313-362-4200.
363. Yeah, he
That's it
said
all.
62 first. Now he said 63.
263-4200.
263.
4200.
Okay. 313-263-4200.
Oh, push-ups, do push-ups, you'll remember next time.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Okay, all right. It is 313-263-4200. All right, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Rudd. All right. Do you have some additional cards and brochures there, Mr. Rudd?
I do. I've got a couple extra bags.
Okay, then thank you so much. All right, then. Is there anyone else? Anyone else that wants to come in and have some? Yes, ma'am. Come on up.
Hello, my name is Debbie Fox. Can you hear me? Because I can't.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm here because to let every veteran know that Michigan is being corrupt about their guardianship with the veterans, because there's a Uniform Military Guardianship Act 321, and it's been around since 1937. And when you go into guardianship, they do not let you know on the paperwork, are you a veteran? Is your spouse a veteran? Do you receive any funds from the VA? They don't ask you that. So you get put into guardianship. The funds from the VA are supposed to be reported to our Indiana hub so they can watch over the funds from the VA. But if you have funds from the VA, you're not supposed to be put in guardianship unless the VA investigates it and believes you need guardianship. So they're fraudulently being put into guardianship, like my mother, who had funds from the VA, and they put her in guardianship, and then they falsely did aid and attendance too. Okay, on the paperwork it should say, and I can show you paperwork, They should ask, do you receive any funds like retirement pension from the military, disability pension from the military? Do you receive any funds like insurance? And do you receive aid in attendance? So that could be automatically reported to the Indiana Hub. And because they're not doing that, the courts are taking thousands of dollars. See, because if you're totally disabled, that can be $3,000 a month to $6,000 a month. And if you die, your spouse gets that total disability. And your spouse can also get your aid in attendance. They get a different amount if your spouse is not a veteran, like my mother is a veteran. She belongs to this detachment. And the hub says they're only allowed to, and it's less, take 5% of your income. Well, my mother's second conservator, successor conservator, charged $75,000 just in lawyer fees. That's way over 75%. It's so because the state does not have this information on the GAL comes to your house and they present it to you, and because they don't ask this and do not tell you about the Uniform Military Guardianship Act, it allows the court to take all your money because it's not reported to the Indiana Hub.
Bless you.
Does that make sense? I have an email with the information because I am in contact. I have submitted it to our Michigan Hub, House of Representatives that are on the Veterans, Military, and Homeland Security to have this changed. And I'm doing it in another group from the House, can't remember what that is. And then the Senate has another group for veterans. And, I know the other one for the House of Representatives is seniors and children. And so I'm sending that to them and hope that they would get it changed. Because they're just purposely taking up these veterans because they know these lawyers, the GALs. My mom's GAL charges $1,800 to show up in court. She shouldn't even be on the case. They won't even allow my mother to have an attorney since 2015. They won't. And they will not let us file anything. Only my sister that became the successor guardian and my brother that became the successor conservator are allowed to file anything. I tried to file on January 8th when I found out the condition my mother was in for my brother. She's being chemically restrained. And she's in a nursing home. They don't feed you in a nursing home. So if somebody isn't there, she doesn't eat or drink, and she's just going to starve to death. And so I tried to file with the court, and he says I have to file in his courtroom, and he denied it. He wouldn't even put his hand signature or check on it that he denied it.
Ms. Fox?
Mm-hmm.
Who is he when you say that? Is
The
that the judge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just have a couple questions. 321, is that a House bill or is that a Senate bill?
I'm not sure.
So you see, because you said it's been since 1937.
1937. I believe it's federal, but every state has a different name for it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And when you talk about the hub, is this in the Indiana hub? Is this something that?
VA. It's the VA Indiana Hub.
Yes, ma'am. So who sends that information? Is it the veteran's a relative or caregiver of the veteran themselves that send this information?
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
It has to be on the application when they file for guardianship, the petition, and then it should also be on the paperwork filed by the guardian ad litem.
Okay. So, and from what I'm understanding is that whoever this outside organization is, or what they're doing is, if they take me in for guardianship, technically they're taking all my dollars. Is that correct?
Correct. Even in your VA pensions and stuff. and they're not supposed to be taking that.
And there, if I may ask, and I apologize, I'm just trying to find out so we can make sure that I understand this correctly. When they're taking these dollars, what authorization are they using? Because they have to have something to say, we have the right to do this. So what are they using? Are they using this Bill 321 or House Bill, Senate Bill 321 to do this, or are they just,
They're ignoring it. They're
Okay.
ignoring that bill. Sorry, my phone's ringing.
That's okay.
They're totally ignoring it.
I'm hearing someone saying they're going through the guardianship.
Yeah, they go through the guardianship
Right.
and conservatorship. And they don't, and the way I found it is on Wayne County Probate Court website. It's how I found the law, so they're aware of it.
Okay. All right, you know anything about that, sir?
I've never heard of that. Nobody's ever brought that to my
Most
office.
people haven't heard of it.
Okay.
I've had to inform the officer of the veterans of, the Vietnam Veterans of America. I informed him and he got somebody out of guardianship. See, if the VA says you need, by testing, that you need guardianship or conservatorship, then that guardian can only have 10 wards.
To have 10 what?
10 wards.
Okay.
This is what they call people that go in guardianship.
Yes, ma'am.
10. My mother's have 1,400.
Please, Commander.
Thank you for your.
Thank you, Ms. Fox.
So,
With somewhere we'll look into.
so I'm Commander
Yes, Commander.
Semmerad again. And,
Yes, sir.
You know, I had worked with the VA for 3 years, and I got, I'm somewhat familiar with these situations. My sister-in-law's father's a Korean War vet, and I guess her message is, there's a lot of groups out there that want to take your veterans' benefits.
Yes.
And in the case of my sister-in-law's father, they charged her $34,000 in fraudulent charges, okay? Now, because I'm knowledgeable, I had a chance to kind of get that corrected. But for all the veterans out there, be very careful about who's advertising for veteran benefits. Make sure you're using a valid resource like the American Legion. American Legion has paid staff to help you navigate through some of this stuff.
Okay.
The Veterans Resource Center in Lansing will help steer you to the correct sources of care. But the predators out there know that you're disabled and you're going to get a check from the federal government. They want that check. And so they will figure out a way to con you into getting that money and taking care of you, but really providing inadequate care. So be very careful as to those predators that are out there, because they are out there. And my recommendation is make sure you're working through the Veterans Resource Center in Lansing. It's now an 800 number. They got local people here. Or you're working through a valid channel in the American Legion. They have full-time staffers at the federal building. You can go down and sit with them, and they will steer you correctly. Make sure you're filling out the paperwork correctly. And you're not getting conned by somebody saying, sign this piece of paper and turn over all of your care and money over to me. Okay? So, over. Thanks.
Commander, do you know whether this 321 is a House or Senate bill? Do you know? Okay, all right, thank you. Well, thank you, that's some excellent information. Thank you so very much. Is there anyone else who has some additional information? Okay, yes, sir.
Greetings, family. Kenneth Kabaka Reynolds. I'm the Cultural and Wellness Director with Best for Vets. We meet every Tuesday, but the first Tuesday of the month, every other Tuesday besides then, where we do what we call Real Talk down at VOA, and that's at 253 East Milwaukee, Detroit, Michigan. And that's really for veterans where we come out and we do Real Talk. Now, Best for Vets is we're putting together what we call our March to Washington, not Washington, We're marching to Lansing. And the date hasn't been, we're looking at the end of September, first week of October. We don't want it to be too hot, too cold. But that will be where we're looking at probably a 3-day march, where we're going to end up 220,000 steps
Okay.
coming out of Detroit. But we're going to go there with what we're looking at our agenda. Because one thing about veterans, we have come to realize everybody be talking all this stuff, but what is our agenda?
Yes, sir.
And especially when we start looking at it coming from a cultural point, because we already know what has been happening and the historical misgivings that have happened in our military.
Yes, sir.
And one of the things, I'm looking at you three brothers, I can imagine the stories y'all could tell. We're in a matter of fact, starting next Tuesday, we're putting together what we're calling our video library, where we're actually going to start our taping of stories. But I would like to come down here Saturday, and I'm hoping that y'all be here where we can get your video, where we can actually, because one of the things we don't never understand, and we don't get the knowledge from our elders. So we can pass it on to the younger, because we're still going through the same thing today.
Yes, sir.
You know, so we already know what's going on.
Yes.
And, you know, one of the things about it when we, and I'm not trying to come at this from, I'm coming at it from a cultural point and the real deal. So, but we deal with all veterans. I'd like to think that every first Friday we meet down at the Department of Public Health and Safety, which is police headquarters. That is one of our major sponsors, is the police department. We just took 22 vets to the basketball game yesterday, and police provide our transportation, and I got to give it out to Chief Craig and the whole community relations department. But I like to go ahead and say that I'm glad that we're still meeting here. I didn't realize the history. This is my first time coming down here to.
It's my first time as well.
Yours too? Yeah, I mean, but I will be here Saturday to check out, and I'm going to talk to you gentlemen. Now, Thursday, we're going to want to talk to them Tuskegee Airmen too and see about we can't get their video history too. Thank you.
Mr. Rose, thank you so much. When you find out more information about your march to Lansing, could you please come and provide us with that information?
will.
Because we will definitely want to be in here. And is Commandant Owens still here? Commandant, I know that Councilmember Leland is having, is it Friday or is it Saturday? Do you know, sir? He is, and the reason why I'm saying, Mr. Reynolds, is because I know that the councilman is having, and I can't remember if he's having something Friday or if he's having something Saturday, and I'm pretty sure that would be a good time also to have, you know, your video recording to come out.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
I'm going to check with the Commandant, but I also give the Councilman's office a call.
Thank you.
But one thing too, I would have, please try to meet with us on that Tuesday so we can put our platform together.
Okay, is there a contact number?
313
Yes, sir.
574-9737, or you can also go on our website, bestforvets.org.
Okay.
But every Tuesday, 5:30, but the first Tuesday,
Okay.
at 253 East Milwaukee, Volunteers of America, that's their homeless shelter, or their, I should say, their transitional housing program.
Okay.
Let's put it like that. But that's really what it is. It's homeless shelter for vets.
All right. Ms. Reynolds, thank you so very much for that information. Thank you. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Are there any questions or concerns? Any other information to be put out? Now, seeing that there is not there, I just want to bring out a couple things. First of all, a young lady asked about the overtax foreclosure issue that happened within the city of Detroit. I will be having a town hall meeting on February the 20th at First Institutional Baptist Church, and that's at 17101 West 7 Mile at Gilcrest, and that will be from 6 to 8:30. And the CFO of the City of Detroit Finances will be there. We will have people from the assessor's office that will be there. The Detroit Land Bank will be there. We will have folks from Bedrock that is there. And what the objective is to provide a presentation of what happened. And then from there, we want to do a Q&A as far as addressing your questions as well as your concerns. And then we will have folks there that will offer or advise you on different assistance programs. Because one of the things, you're talking about the 600 million and it's been put out, well, we want the whole 600 million. I'll tell you right now, the city coffers does not have it. And if they do start it, you can bet that the Financial Review Board will be back active again because they will be looking at us. The second thing is that they talk about having the Detroit Land Bank give houses back to the people, which is difficult too because most of the houses at the Detroit Land Bank, either the furnace is gone, the hot water tank is gone, the fixtures are gone. So now if they do give you that, that means that you have to pay $40,000 to $80-some thousand just to get it back up to living conditions. So this program, this town hall meeting is to bring folks together, address the questions and concerns, and see what type of programs are out there to assist those that can help, because we have to do it on a realistic measure. Although it wasn't realistic that happened, but we have to do it on a realistic measure to go forward. Yes, sir.
Explain to them that you're still not out of receivership, that you gotta pay $455 million back into the pension plan.
Yes,
I know
sir.
this because I worked for the CHA.
Yes, sir.
And most people think.
Come up to the mic with that. I'm sorry.
Again, I apologize.
That's
Most
okay.
people don't realize that we're still in receivership. We got $455 million you gotta pay back into the pension fund. So they seem to think, okay, we got the $600 million, give it back to us. We've gotta be honest, it ain't
Thank
gonna
you.
happen.
Thank you. And that goes back 2023-24 in that budget, so it's coming up. So again, we have to be realistic about that. It is not going to happen that you're going to get that money. Even if you look at over a period of time, that has to be considered. The other thing is that the Rock Classic PGA is coming May 25th through May 31st. And it will, the tickets are already on sale. Now, there's two things. First of all, if a person purchases a ticket, they can bring 4 individuals or 4 young people, 15 years and younger, in for free. Veterans get in free. Please take advantage of that. Veterans get in free. The other thing is, of course, you got to probably, show some ID card because, we're going to have some folks coming in there talking about they veterans, knowing good and well they ain't did nothing, trying to get in for free. So please have some type of ID to show. The other issue is that they are looking for 2,000 volunteers. They already have 1,000, so they're looking for an additional 1,000. Now, the packet for that is $75 to volunteer, but the packet is worth almost $600 because what they're going to do is they're going to give you a T-shirt, let you into the event, they're going to feed you, so it's more than the $75 that will be happening. So I did want to put that information out and get it out there to you. So therefore, we say Mr. Stephen Grady. Mr. Grady, you got anything for 1 minute? We got 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go.
Yes, sir. Anything you want to add, sir?
Just on behalf of Council President Brenda Jones, who is in Washington, D.C. right now as a small contingent of the SIMCOG, Southeast Michigan Council of Governments group. They're there meeting with Congress people and trying to get some resources sent back here. Of course, Veterans Affairs is one thing that's important to her. So, but she sends her greetings to everyone, her love and support. As you know, she'll be back for next meeting, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, very much. If there's nothing else, I want to thank the Mount Point Marines for allowing us to host this building here. Thank you so very much. Also, I want to thank the media personnel. Thank you so very much for being out here. But mainly, thank each and every one of you because you have set the foresight for us the people to have the freedoms that we have today. So I thank you so much for what your service, as well as coming out here today. Nothing else, please be careful. God bless you, and we will see you on March the 10th, 3 o'clock, right here. Thank you so much.